So this is a mandala that Troy did, and it predates his current move, January 1st. So it actually shows his own ability to predict his own future, because there's 4 wheels in here, actually 5, including this inner third eye, and it shows his own advancement. So it's a reflection of his own intuition, and he's actually foretelling his own future here. So this darkness, he's looking inward into himself, and the darkness is looking in, and then he's putting renewed healing, health, energy, and spiritual energy out, because the green is health and healing. The blue is spiritual manifestation, and it's like exploding outwards like arrows. There's a ton of energy moving in here, all the lines and the arrows and the triangles in here. There's the union of heaven and earth, which is the Star of David, highly spiritual unification of self in movement. And he's taking a good look at his own darkness and transforming that into movement and healing energy out towards the world. So I'd say good job, Troy, predicting your own future.
Hey, it's Troy Casey, the Certified Health Nut, here today to talk about my quest for enlightenment. And so I've been doing healing work and looking to raise my own consciousness, frequency, vibration, healing, balance, mental and emotional balance, spiritual awakening, spiritual balance into my life in this modern day world. And since my kids came and I got married, I'm very committed to becoming the best father that I can be and the best husband that I can be. And so that is my ultimate commitment. And of course, my mental and emotional issues come up when I'm stressed, and also when I'm dealing with situations that I might not be equipped and have the tools to deal with them. And so I've sought out for many years my own personal healing with meditation. I've been working with the Maori healers for about 15 years. And also because I have a presence on YouTube with health, there are a lot of health practitioners that I'm exposed to. Now I started sharing some of my art on Facebook. Paul Chek taught me some components of art therapy, and so I took it upon myself to start utilizing it. And I instantly got out of my left brain, and I felt relaxed, and I really enjoyed it. And so I started sharing some of it on Facebook. And one of my friends on Facebook, she's a hypnotherapist, she said, hey, look, I've got a master's in art therapy. And I thought that was so fascinating. I didn't know that someone could get a master's in art therapy. And so I contacted her and we talked a little bit, and the things that she talked about on some of my line drawings really blew my mind. And she was relating them to masculine and feminine, chakra elements. And so I said, hey, let's start working together and see where it goes. So I'd like to bring on Aura, and she can explain a little bit about her work, and also I will share my experience. So everybody welcome Aura Walker.
Troy came in with some drawings because I noticed that he was posting some drawings asking for feedback, and they seemed really depressed. And I called him, and he was really, really stuck. And I said, hey, you have the tools, you just don't know how to use them, and I'm going to help you out because, you know, I want to help a brother out. So he brought in his drawings, and that was the entryway. And then I introduced hypnotherapy because hypnotherapy helps to work with the subconscious mind. So the art therapy was the message that he was bringing, and he was replaying this past that was so sad and depressed from his childhood that he had outgrown.
And I'm not a depressed person.
No, and he was really, really trying to overcome this childhood ghost of his past. And so the art therapy was the message that brought him in. And then I worked with his subconscious mind and his adult self to say, welcome back to his wounded child, and you're safe now through some regressive therapy. And then through hypnosis, through his relaxed mind. And then we got him to where he needs to be through some of his art drawings of what he really wants, which is the fully integrated adult self. And then I just personally coached him on how to use his adult self today to be the best dad that he can be, instead of an autocratic father, an incorporated father, and instead of a husband who is fighting for power in the relationship, how to take his power back and how to fully step into his manhood so that his wife feels safe, that he's in his manhood, he's fully in control of himself, and then he can be the man in the house. And that was the goal. So it took I think it was like 4 sessions, which is my goal, is to get people moving faster towards full integration so that he can be the best that he can be and go out in the world and be the most powerful in his role of his own healing modalities that he's bringing forth into the world, because there are a lot of people out there and it is the 11th hour and we all need to get together and make this happen.
Yes, and the way I like to explain healers are they're ultimately people that can scratch an itch that you can't reach. And I also like to say that, you know, healing depends on the level of trauma, and it depends on how deep the wound is. Now, I've been working on myself dedicated for about 15 years, and so it's great that you have so many modalities and some real brass tacks coaching. She's from New York too, so she doesn't take any S. And so so it's great for her to bring a lot of these, she's a mother as well, and so it was great for her to bring a lot of these concepts forward so that, you know, I can be the best that I can be. So, God, there's so much more to say, but I think the best thing to do is...
What we're looking at here is a representation of young Troy, and an image that kept reoccurring of his youngest, I would say youngest wounded self, the young boy, who you can see is very grief-stricken. The face with the eyes that perhaps were crying, full of grief, maybe even rage with the red, and tears. That this may have been an added scribble later, but it's interesting that it just kind of comes out like these pink tears, whether it was an accident or not. In art therapy, there is a diagnostic tool called House Tree Person, and what we're seeing here with this tree is a very ungrounded tree. There's no roots, and the tree itself doesn't have a firm trunk. It has it on one side, so there's this partial development of the self, but there's this other part of the self that is very undeveloped and perhaps not feeling very sturdy or secure. And then there's kind of all of this shading around here, which is a desire for growth with the colors, because these greens are a desire for growth. That grass light green is a real desire, a bursting out for wanting health, but it's very airy. And then this darker green is kind of what we call a green that you would see in the dark forest of Hansel and Gretel. So it is a threatening green, not so much about health, but maybe about fears around how to get healthy and can I get healthy. And then we look at this tree, and there's even darker green and lots of light blue, which is not really the color of leaves. And we're not talking about impressionism here. What we're seeing is some spirituality, because light blue is really about spirituality. And upside down, I'm actually seeing a smiley face right here. There's a smiley face. There's 2 eyes and a big mouth, smiley face. So what you see is this kind of hidden desire to be happy, this really childlike, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but a childlike desire to be happy and free and spiritually free that's up in the head. And so this is the desire of where I believe Troy wanted to go, but he was haunted by this younger self. And you can see that in the head area is all of this dark confusion, not really as airy as he desired to be. So this is what kept reoccurring for Troy over and over, was being haunted by this younger self that was incredibly wounded as a boy. And then in some of his other drawings, what we see is this incredible wish to be fully integrated. So this is his complete desire of where he wants to go. And what we see here is, of course, the earth, the roots. This is representing Troy as a man, but still with some of that childlike desire in there. And the childlike desire is a healthy desire because it's the wounded child desiring for everything that children love in the world. So if you ask a child, how do you change your emotions from sad to happy? They're going to think about birds, flowers, sun. They're going to think about things that make them happy. And so here we see this very burstful sun that also represents a healthy father, which Troy is breaking that pattern in his family to become the healthy father himself. So I think this represents him more than any of the unhealthy father figures that he ever had. And here you see a lot more of that light green healthy color, and you see it here too with the dark blue and the royal blue, which is very highly spiritual, with this purple that is incredibly highly spiritual. So I know Troy, and I know he's done a lot of spiritual work on himself. So what this is showing here is who he really wants to be. And so my job was really to help him get past this that he was haunted by and kept reoccurring over and over and over again, and really get rid of this once and for all. Like, get rid of this ghost, the hungry ghost that kept coming back that you can never fulfill. And really he had outgrown, it was completely outdated for him. It no longer served him. And to get him to this, to the fully integrated man, the fully developed man, the man who would be completely whole and happy. And that's what you see here, this wholeness, the global wholeness that represents himself, fully grounded, fully integrated. And this is where Troy is moving towards now that he's let go of his past. I'm just really happy to collaborate with Troy. I have a lot of respect for him and what he's trying to do for the planet. I'm working to help the planet stay healthy and help people accelerate to the best that they can be. And that's really why I'm here too.
So pick up the phone if you think you want to check in with somebody that can help you with stuff that you're going through. And you can always reach out to Certified Health Nut on my Facebook channel. I answer questions there as well. And everybody have a great day.